This book is called Mystery on the Docks, and it's written and illustrated by Thacher, Hurd. A mystery is a special kind of story. It's fiction, but it's usually about a crime or something that happened that no one understands. And to enjoy a mystery, you have to learn to keep track of the clues. Sometimes authors will dedicate a book to someone. This book is dedicated to someone named Nicholas. I don't know if that's Thacher's son or a friend. I don't know. But there's a very nice little tugboat there pulling a flag that says, For Nicholas. Thacher Hurd has a website you can easily find. It's hisname.com, and you can learn there about his other books, and you can learn that he grew up in Vermont and spent most of his life in California. And you can see a picture of Margaret Wise Brown, famous American author, who wrote Goodnight Moon, pushing Thacher through the snow when he was a little tiny baby. Ralph, the short order cook at the diner on Pier 46, was washing up for the night. He sang as he washed. Ralph loved to sing. On his nights off, Ralph headed for the opera house to hear the stars sing. Or he strolled to the end of Pier 46, played the accordion, and singing to the stars in the sky. But tonight, there were no stars. A cold and clammy fog crept over the docks. A foghorn blew. The pier creaked. Then all was quiet. Or was it? Ralph stopped singing. He heard a ship's engines throbbing. He saw a dark ship gliding to the dock. He heard two rats slunk out of the gloom. They headed straight for Ralph's diner. Fish and fries, snapped the shorter rat. Righto, said Ralph. You work on the dark ship? None of your business, snarled the taller rat. Thought Ralph. Tough customers. While the rats gobbled their food, Ralph read the newspaper. Suddenly, a headline caught his eye. Singer mysteriously vanishes. Ratville, May 16. The day before his gala concert at the opera house, Eduardo Bombasto, whose thundering voice is known to concert-goers throughout the world, disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The police have no clues. Oh no, cried Ralph. My favorite singer is missing. Bam! The diner door slammed. Ralph whirled around. The two rats were gone. Hey, come back here, Ralph yelled. Pay up! But the pier was empty. Or was it? Suddenly a car screeched to a stop in front of the dock ship. Three rats jumped out. Ralph hid behind a crate. Okay, boys, get the sack out of the trunk, shouted a huge rat chomping a cigar. Right, Big Al. Ralph tiptoed closer. Crash! He tripped on a rope. Get him! Snatch him! Yelled Big Al. Ralph scampered down the pier. But the rats were too quick on their paws. Throw him in the hold, snapped Big Al. Welcome aboard, laughed the same two rats who hadn't paid for their fish and fries. The dock ship pulled away from the dock. Ralph was alone in the hold. Or was he? The sack behind Ralph began to wiggle. Who's there? Ralph cried out. Help! Ralph untied the sack. Out popped Eduardo. Who are you? Eduardo asked suspiciously. I'm your biggest fan, replied Ralph. What are you doing here? Big Al kidnapped me, said Eduardo. I'll walk the plank if he doesn't get his ransom. We've got to get off this ship fast, cried Ralph. Ralph and Eduardo sneaked on deck. Big Al was on guard. The night was black as coal. The ship was far out in the harbor. Aha, Big Al. Trying to escape, eh? We'll fix you. Ralph and Eduardo ran for it, straight up the mast and into the crow's nest. Look, flares, shouted Ralph. We can signal for help. The fog is too thick, said Eduardo. The police will never see the flares. What else can we do? Said Ralph. I can sing, exclaimed Eduardo. Help! A police boat siren wailed in the distance. They saw the flares, cried Ralph. No, said Eduardo. They heard me sing. Big Al was hopping mad. Full steam ahead, he shouted. But the dock ship was slow and the police boat was fast. Come out with your hands up, yelled the police chief. But Big Al was not about to give up. He was too tough, and besides, he was winning. Or was he? Suddenly, two figures swooped down out of the fog. Ralph and Eduardo to the rescue. Rats overboard, yelled the police chief. Whap, bam, kapow, splash, sploosh. The police fished Big Al and his gang out of the water. Their fur was dripping. Their teeth were chattering. Their dock ship was towed back to the pier. They were towed to jail. The next day, Ralph's picture was on the front page of the newspaper. He was a hero. Eduardo gave him a front row seat for his concert at the Opera House. After the concert, Ralph invited Eduardo and all his friends to a party on Pier 46. The stars were shining brightly. Ralph played the accordion and sang for his favorite opera star. Everyone danced and munched fish and fries and toasted Ralph, who had saved Eduardo from Big Al and his gang of nasty rats. And that's the end. All the little mysteries were solved, and there was a happy ending for this book, Mystery on the Docks by Thacher Hurd.